So what I'm saying is, it doesn't make sense that we would take this action unless we are really just acting on the behest of our allies for some other kind of gain, a personal gain for the Trump brand, if you will, some sort of hegemony that the United States is desperately grasping for because we realize that we don't have that power and influence anymore. And as a result of these actions and actions like what we took in Venezuela, we have now empowered and validated some of the worst regimes in the world that we've always held accountable for taking the same kind of actions that we take.
And who are you concerned about as it relates to other regimes?
China, Russia. Russia, I believe that a big part of the reason that Zelensky hasn't been assassinated by Russia is because that would be crossing a red line. That would infuriate Europe and the United States because you don't attack world leaders. We just gave them permission to do so. The same thing in Taiwan. Now China has free reign to just assassinate one person in Taiwan. And that's just them. We're not even talking about Pakistan and India. We're not talking about any of the border disputes that are happening anywhere else across Asia or warlords in Africa. We just validated these illegal, inhumane, extrajudicial processes all over the world.
So unlike these other world leaders, Khamenei was his philosophy, his entire ideology is built on death to America among death to other things. You don't have other world leaders. You don't have the president of Taiwan saying death to China. You don't have Zelensky even saying death to Russia. He might want Putin dead, but he doesn't want the demise of the entire Russian Republic. I think this is where Khamenei stands apart, where it is a movement which became a system of government predicated on the demise and the destruction of the United States.
What's interesting
How do you counter that? Yeah.
Interesting with the term stands apart is I was imagining therefore a spectrum. And the minute it becomes a spectrum, it becomes somewhat subjective. So, one might say, well, we think they wanted to hurt us. Whereas before in my head, when I grew up, I always used to see these wars and go, why don't they know where the guy lives. Like, I know that sounds like a simplified way, but they know where he is. Why don't they just take him out? And it always felt to me that was off the table in war. You can't just assassinate a leader because you don't like them or you're having a sort of geopolitical disagreement. And it's actually only in the last sort of year or two that I've thought, okay, maybe it is free reign to just fly in and snatch someone out of bed with their wife, which is what happened in Venezuela. And then seeing this, that you can just drop a bomb on them wherever they are, it does kind of make you, wonder, maybe this is now on the table. I've never really seen that in my lifetime. I mean, I know there were some things that went on in Libya and Iraq and so on, but to snatch a prime minister out of bed with his wife and fly him over and with photos of it, I go, wow, this is a new type of geopolitical action.
It's what our Secretary of State is calling the golden era of the United States. The old world is gone. Like this is the narrative coming out and being spread by the representation of the free world. France, Macron just this morning stated that to be free, you must be feared. This is the world that we're creating. Death to America? Guess how much I care about that? Guess how much I care that a poor, broke-ass, far-away fucking piddly-dink country says death to America. Guess how afraid I am of that? Zero. And guess how afraid multiple people who have led the United States have been afraid of that? They're not. You can say it all you want. Doesn't matter. And when you do carry out an attack against the USS Cole, for every one attack that's successful, 25 of them are thwarted. That's the benefit of being the most powerful military in the world. You don't have to worry about everybody who chants in the streets.